Hey, everybody. All righty. We are live. Had not planned. I did plan to go live, and I should have done this better to time this. Lots of activity going on in my house. Everybody is home and the dogs are here. But we're going to be budgeting today. So I wanted to kind of do a mid-month budget check-in. Let me get off of some things here. So you guys chime in, let me know where you're watching from. And then if you have time, open up your budgets, or just if you know where your money has been going, we're going to just be talking about where our money is going. So this is just a mid-month check-in. So you guys come on in, let me know where you're chiming in from. It's always good to know where people are watching from. And we're just going to jump in and talk coins, right? We're talking coins, and I have a praise report, so I want to share that with you guys. So, hey from Pennsylvania, hello, hey, how are you? You guys, let me know where you're chiming in from. Don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to hit share if you think that these videos are share worthy. That helps us. But like or unlike, whichever one you're comfortable with, helps us in the algorithm. So we would appreciate you doing that. Alrighty, you guys. Hey, ma'am, good to see you from Florida. All righty. Hey, from Arizona. Good. Oh my word. Listen. Woo, I'm telling y'all, I'm glad I'm saved because hell is gonna be hot and I'm not trying to go there. If Arizona's 111, no, ma'am. I don't even know how y'all not melting. Just melt. You've got to be in the it is. I don't even know what degrees it is here, and I'm dying. I'm like, oh Jesus. The kids and I were out in the garden. We had some great garden success. And so we were out there doing things. I had to come in, grab a shower real quick, get my hair did, put on my lips. I was like, y'all, we got to do this video. So we want to talk coins. Hey, from the mountains of North Carolina. It's good to see you. We want to talk coins, right? We want to talk our budget. We want to talk, we're about midway through. Today's the 18th. And so we have 12 more days, 13 more days. So we're about in the middle of the month. Are we having more month than money? Do we have enough money for the month? Where are you as far as your budget is concerned? Have you budgeted? Those are some questions we're needing to ask ourselves. Hey, from Oregon and Vegas, have you budgeted? Did you do your budget sheet? For those of you who do not know what I'm referring to, I use a budget sheet called the MYMT Personal Budget Sheet. It calculates for me by the week. So I'm able to put in all of my expenses. Hey, ma'am. Oh, very good. I'm very glad. It is a little different now. Jasmine says that I call her weird, but she's been watching some of my OG videos. I know for some people who are watching me now, they really don't appreciate the now. They like the old videos. But here's one thing that I have had to share. Hey, from Indiana, Betty, I was just in your city. I was just in your state yesterday. Some of the things that I've had to explain to people now is the old videos, although they are very good and inspiring, that was the struggle. That was the struggling Shakima. And I am very thankful to be where I am now. And for those of you who are just new to following me, my children and I became 100% debt free with the exception of our home in 2019. The Lord, right at the pandemic, I think we shut down in March. And hey, friend, right after that, about April, May-ish, the Lord allowed me to pay off my brand new vehicle. It was brand new to me. It was a used vehicle. He allowed me to pay $13,000 in 63 days. And I was carrying debt with me around for 10 years. But the Lord had really begun to work on my mind. He began to work on my heart. He began to work on just how I should be budgeting. And so he allowed us to pay a $13,000 car loan in 63 days, record time for somebody like me who was struggling. So I do appreciate you guys who go back and follow the journey. But my hope and prayer is for those who follow the journey to end up on the other side, where I am now, which is, I mean, I'm not saying you have to be 100% debt free, but did you pay anything? Have you receive some type of financial freedom, right? Because I've talked about this before, that finances have a way of weighing people down. When you owe somebody, or when you are behind on a debt or a bill, Your money, in a sense, is telling you where it must go instead of you telling your money where it should go. Hello from Carrie. Good to see everybody. And so for me, hey, Michelle, I would prefer, it's my preference to be able to tell my money where it goes. Don't call me a control freak because I do not have control freak like tendencies, but I'm not going to let my dollars and cents tell me where to go. That's why I've had to double down, and I've had to stop spending. I've had to stop eating out. There were so many things my kids and I could not do then, but we can do now. And so I'm very thankful. I do want to tell you guys a testimony. Y'all know how it works around here. Hey, from New Jersey, y'all know how it works around here. So we are Bible believing Christians, Bible toting, scripture quoting. We believe it all. Tongue talkers around here. This is what we do. This is what we believe. We also believe in the principle of tithing. Tithing, according to biblical principle in the Old Testament, is 10% of everything. 10% of everything you make, we return that back to the church. Well, at the beginning of this year, the Lord told me a different thing. He asked me to do something a little bit different, and that was to increase that particular portion of my giving. So I give my base 10% of tithe, and then I go in and I do something a little different. And then on top of that, we give offering. Now, Shakima, how can you do that? We can't afford to tithe. When I was back in those old days, I made a decision that I could not afford to not tithe. It was what I had to do because it was my belief. It was my conviction. Nobody forced me. Nobody told me I had to. I've had many people say, you need to pay yourself first and then take care of the church. That my belief system is I take care of God's house. He takes care of my house, according to Malachi. And that's just what I believe. So we do all of that. And God has allowed us over the years to get completely 100% debt free. I do not owe a soul anything except for my home, which we are paying over principal each and every month based on something that the Lord spoke to me in January. He said, Shakima, I got my escrow. I got a refund for escrow. And he said, your mortgage is going to go down. So what I want you to do is I want you to take the difference between what you were paying and what your mortgage is now. And I want you to pay that over on principal. In addition, add on $25. So my children and I are paying about $107 every month over towards principal, which will put us at about $1,200 for the year over, which is a little over one mortgage payment, which will radically decrease. Hey, ma'am. Good to see you. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Hey, from Jamaica. Good to see everybody. So that's just how I deal with my specific budget, right? I can't tell anybody how to deal with theirs. Your budget is very subjective to you and your family. What I can tell you is if you do not budget, then something is going to go awry, especially if you are like I was. I was a swiper, no swiping. Shakima, no swipe. Honey, I made that money. I went to work. I made that money. Yes, ma'am. I'm about to start swiping stuff. And the Lord was like, I don't really think that's what we need to do. And so I had to do some hard, what do I want to call it? I had to have a hard conversation with myself or courageous conversation with myself to say, don't do that. That is not beneficial to you. It's not beneficial to your children. You are not going to be in a better financial situation if you continue to do the swipe. So I put myself 100% on a cash-based system. Anything that are my cash categories, I have envelopes for, and you guys have seen my envelopes. Somebody bring my envelopes and also my savings challenges. For the very first time in my life, I'm doing 3 different savings challenges in addition to tithing, plus the increase the Lord told us to do, plus offering, plus whatever giving he tells me to do outside of all of that, and still have enough money to take care of our standard bills for the month. How does that happen, Shakima? The Bible says, given it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall he cause men to give unto your bosom. So let me share with you guys a story. Y'all chime in. Tell me where you're coming in from if you haven't already. Tell me where you are in the budget. I have more month than money. I have more money than month, or I am equal. Wherever you are, if you're feeling comfortable, just let us know. We would really appreciate it. It just helps me to know who my talking audience is, and I'm going to share my numbers with you guys. So I recently went on a trip. My sister and I, we had to go, we were going on a trip. The Lord told me back in January to go somewhere. So I could not make that trip happen. Very good, very good. I see you, Alicia. So again, you're going to have that courageous conversation with yourself. Where can I cut? And we all know that with inflation, with mortgage interest rates or whatever interest rates going up, trying to stave off a recession, all of those types of things. Very good, Nancy. We're having to work it differently than we did some years ago, right? Everything post-pandemic is so different. But the principles of God are never different. They're always the same. Given it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall he cause men to give unto your bosom. So let me share with you a story. So in January, the Lord told me to go to a place. In April, I made arrangements to go to that place. The only time I could go was last weekend. Now, I went to the place without knowing a soul there. I knew one person, and that was just from a phone conversation. So I had to rent a car. God would not allow me to fly. I had to rent a car. I had to get a room, and I had to have gas to go and come, and I had to have food, while I was there. We were gone for 4 days, my sister and I. My sister went with me. Lest anybody think I took a secret man somewhere. I've been accused of that before. I'm like, really? Okay. So my sister and I did all that. Rounded out to say the car rental was $420 once you add in tax. We went there. We went to pick up the car, and we had ordered a full-size regular vehicle. We got there. They said, we don't have the vehicle that you want. Would you be opposed to having an upgrade to a full-size SUV? Didn't mind having a full-size SUV. They weren't going to charge me anymore. So I was like, perfect. Nope, that's great. We'll take it. This was a massive car. Y'all, I'm not used to driving a car this big. I mean, you sitting up like you're driving a truck. I was like, oh, look at the Lord trying to bless me. He will bless you if you let him. Okay, so we get there. We're getting on the road. This is a 15-hour trip. We're not quite there yet. We know we're going to be late checking into the hotel. So my sister, I said, well, we probably need to call and let them know we are coming, but we're going to be a little later than we thought for check-in, right? Because we don't want them to cancel our room and give it away. The hotel room was $569. Now, this is my trip, so I'm paying for all of this. My sister was gracious, and she said, nope, I'm paying for gas on the way up, and I paid for gas on the way back. Perfect. I wasn't going to argue. I was thankful that she went with me. So $420 plus $569, that's round about $1,000. This is my trip. And that's just for the room and the car. That doesn't include gas coming back or food or anything that God told me to do, because he told me to take some money to give away when I got there. So we're talking about close to about $1,200. We get to where we're going very late at night. The next morning we get up and we're about to go right around the city. And we notice that the car is sounding a little strange. Now we're a long way away from home, 15 hours from our home. And the car is sounding very weird. So I said, well, let's pull over. Let me call roadside assistance and see what they want us to do. So the lady said, well, there is an Enterprise rental car kind of near your location. You can go and turn that car in and get a different car. So we take the car back. We say, listen, something is not right. We're not exactly sure, but I don't feel comfortable driving this vehicle, especially that far, with it making noises. So we get the vehicle turned in. They give us not a full size, but a mid-size SUV. We go from a Nissan Armada to a Chevy Equinox. Okay, it's not as upscale or new as the Armada, but hey, I'm good. It rides perfect. We get in the Chevy Equinox. We drive away. Well, when we were on our way to the hotel gave our room away. We ordered a two queen bed. We ordered a 2-queen room. That's all we needed, myself and my sister. We're related, so it's perfect. We didn't mind sharing a room. They gave our room away, but then they sent her 2 confirmation emails for 2 queen rooms, which split the price $569 and made each room $273. So when we got there and we're trying to check in, they're like, well, we have 2 king rooms for you. And we're like, no, that's not what we ordered. We just need 1 room. Well, it had a king size bed plus a pull-out sofa thing. I'm like, no, we're perfect with that. We don't need 2 rooms. So automatically off jump, the Lord took our bill down $325 because that's add-in tax and all the things. $325 came off of the bill. So I'm at $1,200. I'm automatically down $325. So I'm around roughly $865. We do all the things that we're supposed to do. I hand an envelope to somebody else. I do a cash app to somebody else because God had already previously told me what to do with my money. And if you don't think that God talks to you, then he does. He talks to me. I don't know what he does for you, but he talks to me. You spell my name exactly right. Yes, you did. Very good. Hello, ma'am. And then when we got back here, I took the rental car back today. I didn't take it back yesterday because it was really late when we got back. So I said, well, I'll take it back Tuesday morning. I take the car back. Now, they had originally charged us $420. I get there. I say, hey, this was the problem. They were supposed to put all the notes in the computer. The guy was like, well, they still have you in the Armada. They didn't even put you in the Equinox. We don't know what's going on. But because there was an error on their part, we're going to credit you back $300. So instead of $420, the rental went down to like $149. And then we got all the additional monies back. So now we're looking at $325 plus another $300 is $625. The $1,200 bill ended up being half of what it was. Angela, I'm about to run. You hear me now, because you was with me on this, how God told me to do something. And here God is, he is already provided for me. Yes, I had to come up with the money up front. However, the Lord was like, because you are willing and obedient, you're going to eat the good of the land, man. You're going to have a testimony out of this thing. Let me tell you something. So if you don't believe in the principle of tithing, I understand that. Perhaps you just haven't been taught right. And it's not a law thing. I love God, and I am going to do what God told me to do, no matter what you said about it or you think about it. You can think all kinds of things. God is favoring me. When I left that place today, I posted on Facebook. If you don't know what favor looks like, just look over here. God favored me from obedience. He told me to give a specific individual a right hand of fellowship. Hallelujah. And if you're in the right church, you know what that means. That means slip a little something in their pocket. And then he told me to do another cash app to somebody else. And I did those things that God had asked me to do. And I was going to do them. I'm saying all that to say a lot of people will look at their budgets and say, I can't afford to. I could not afford to not do what God said. I never have had that luxury. And because I have done what God has asked me to do, my children and I have been A-okay. Does that make sense? God has taken care of us. Now, you all know that this is my summer month. So in my summer months, June and July, I do not gain a paycheck. Somebody says, well, you're just unpaid. I'm unemployed. I do not work in June or July, and I don't work the first 2 weeks of August. For 10 whole weeks, I am unemployed. So my children and I have to have a way to pay our bills. Well, here's how the Lord has blessed us again. Y'all go back to the principles now. You got to know how to manage your money. If you're not a good money manager and somebody else has access to your finances, you should turn over that immediately. Let them manage it for you. If you do not know how to do it, please give it to somebody else that does. So because One Mom is now what I would call a solvent business, the YouTube channel One Mom is a solvent business. Because I film every video in my house or in my yard or in my garden or in my garage, now I can take that income from One Mom and I can now pay expenses in my home because this is my home office. So I pay my mortgage out of my regular monies that I get that I put aside in the summer. Everything else, my light bill, my water bill, my cell phone bill, my internet, because I just have internet for this type of purpose. I can take all of those bills and now pay them out of my One Mom account because it is now registered as an LLC. And now at the end of the year, I'll be able to take those bills, we hope, prayerfully, and write them off at the end of the year. I could buy my groceries from One Mom because I film a grocery haul every single week. I don't do that currently, but I'm thinking about it, right? So all of that money, about $400 to $500 that I normally would take out of my summer budget that I put aside, $1,965, I didn't have to take that money out this month. And now I have actually kept that extra 400 in my regular money. Because my Facebook, which is monetized, is my Shakima Wilson brand, all of any income that I make from Shakima Wilson's brand now goes into my main Shakima Wilson account. It does not go into One Mom because that is not that account. It's associated with my name, which is my brand for that. And so because we have been obedient in all the things, sometimes you don't understand why God will tell you to do something, you just do it anyway. He has made a way when we should be in the most lack of our lives out of all the months of the year. We have had nothing but increase. It has been increase over increase over increase. We even got to the place and somebody did a little right hand fellowship to me, and they said, we want to pay for your meal after church. You guys go and eat your meal. We want to pay for that. Obedience, right? Now, if you're not a Bible believer, you're not a Christian, you don't subscribe to that, I can only tell you then that you have to look at your numbers. You have to make sure that you're crunching your numbers correctly and you know what you have coming in and what you have going out. Income minus expenses is going to equal profit or loss, either one. If you have more income than expenses, you're going to have a profit. If you have more expenses than income, you're going to have a loss. And that's just simple math. If you understand simple math. Any questions before I share my sheet with you? So I'm just going to share my regular budget sheet so that you all can see kind of where we are for this month. And I think I have to add in a few things that I did not put in. When I always go to, I don't care where I am, I'm going to church on a Sunday. They call for a special offering. I gave in the special offering. Had not planned on that because I'd already given, but I gave in the special offering. I'm always going to do that. And so I just need to add that to my budget sheet. So, okay, everybody is good. I'm going to share my sheet with you all so that you can see how I budget for the month. All right, perfect. Okay, so this is my MYMT personal budget sheet, and I'm just going to kind of run us through how I use this particular sheet. So on the left-hand side, I use 3 columns here. I use the A column, which is for all of my categories. The B column is what I'm going to budget for that particular category. And the C column is actually what I am paid or make or actually spend on that particular bill. Now, for my income, I've taken certain things out. I have a monthly payroll deposit, and that should actually say monthly summer share deposit because I don't get it's no payroll. So I'm going to change that now. That should say monthly summer share deposit. What I do each month is I have a specific amount of money taken out of my paycheck and put into an account. And that money, all that's saved up, is split in half. I get half in June and half in July. And that's called a summer share account. It's specifically for the summer months. Now, some people have asked me, Shakima, why don't you spread your payout over 12 months? When I first started in this county, you could do that. Then after being here about 4 or 5 years, they decided, nope, we're not doing that anymore. So you had to get your pay in 10 months. And that's when they introduced the summer share accounts. Then about 10 years after that, they decided they wanted to go back to they didn't even tell anybody they was going back to the old way. I just happened to be having a conversation with one of my coworkers, and she was like, oh, girl, I changed my stuff back a long time ago. They didn't tell us that you could change it. I had already become accustomed to this type of system, so I left it in place. I didn't want to mess with anything because I knew how to manage this amount of money every single month because I had been doing it for 10 years. So technically, I probably could change it to the 12 months, but I'm leaving it because this works for me. So that's my monthly summer share. Then I get kids deposit. I did a video, a reel not long ago sharing that I'm doing the $20 savings challenge for Alana's car. And I said, well, I'm taking out child support for this. And somebody said, well, the child support belongs to her. Child support does not belong to Alana. Alana's 19 years old. She has aged out of child support. That is out of the kindness and goodness of my heart because the amount for child support did not change. So because it's still the same amount that we've always been getting since the kids got on child support, even when Trandon was on here, it didn't change. Then I'm just pulling out a little tiny bit for 2 reasons. One reason is because I didn't get as much time to put money into hers. I think I had 4 years to save for Alana because she was only on for 4 years. We weren't on it in the very first beginning when I got a divorce. And then because Jackson will have been on it for about 14 years, I'm saving more money for Jackson than I will have given to any of the children. And I don't think that's fair. Not that I have to be fair, but I want it to be equitable as best I can. Sister has a job, so I'm only saving just a tiny little bit to help her towards her vehicle. Do I have to? I don't. Am I going to? I am. Okay. So my summer share was $1,965. My kids' deposits to date, I've had 2 of those. I had a double deposit kind of come in on the 5th for $440.70, and then I had another deposit coming last week for $216.46. So what I do is, if I want to put a note here, I will click in the box, I'll do a right click, and then I will insert a note. That will allow you to write something about this specific category, about this specific bill, or what have you. The next thing that I have on here is unexpected gifts, blessings, funds transferred, or anything like that that I did not know that I was getting. So Alana had to go to the doctor for a physical. She's leaving the pediatrician because she's too old now, and she had to get a regular primary care physician. So because she switched, we had to do all of her blood work and labs, and she didn't even have a physical last year. So this was the year to get the physical. And so she had to have all the A1C, the Kim 7s, and all these tests, all the blood work stuff. She had a test called hemoglobin. She had to get her the A1C, and then she had to get her hemoglobin tested. She had the lipid panel, all the things. So when she got her hemoglobin tested, because I have supplemental insurance, I have a medical bridge, which is if one of us have to go to the emergency room and then they put us in the hospital, it will cover any overages for me. I have an accidental policy. If one of us gets into an accident, it's going to cover something. And then I have a cancer rider, which if either of us get cancer, the devil's a lie. But if that were to happen, then they would cover some as well. If you get your hemoglobin, A1C, your lipid panel, and all those types of things done, what they will do then is they'll give you your yearly benefit. I went in thinking I was going to get $125 because that's what it was in the past. When I went in to check, because they had approved it, I had $350. I get a benefit off of each one of those rider policies. So if you are on Aflac or Colonial Life or something of that nature, please, please, please go in and make sure that you get your wellness benefit. If you don't know what it's called a wellness benefit. For us, it was a blood test. If you're a woman and you go get your annual exam, you can get that. If you get a mammogram, you only get one. So you get to pick which of those things you had. But, I go in and get my yearly mammogram. I don't get the other because I had a hysterectomy. I don't have all those issues and I'm good. Right. But if you get all of those situation things, then you can get your wellness benefit. So make sure you do that. So that gave me a total, which I thought I was starting with $1,965 of $2,972.16. As somebody, Mama, come and get Mama, please. Sorry, y'all. My dog is going nuts. We have visitors and she doesn't like visitors. Oh, bless God. Okay, perfect. Okay, very good. I apologize. But yes, ma'am. This will definitely be okay. That's fine, Crystal. Very good. Barbara, yes, you can catch this replay on here on Facebook or you can catch it on YouTube. Either one. It'll be perfect. You can tell them they can come in, sister, but don't ring the bell because the dogs will go crazy. All right, now. As I move down, I am going to okay, close the door until they come in for the bugs. Okay, so I have several expenses and then I have my regular payments. A lot going on in here today, y'all. My bad. So my living expenses, I have taken certain things out. The things now that I'm counting as business expenses are no longer on my sheet. You will not ever see them again. But my mortgage, because I'm taking the bulk of my home purchase, is going to stay on my regular budget sheet. I can't afford to put it in the business because my business doesn't make that much money yet. I'm thankful it pays the expenses that it does, but it does not make that much yet. Y'all keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing, all the things. We are very close to 50,000 subscribers. So y'all keep liking, subscribing, sharing all the things. Then I have household repairs. I have household miscellaneous. I have lawn care. I have recycling, renewal, pest control, and my yearly pest control spray. So I budget all of those tops of numbers so that I know what I'm dealing with or what is my bottom line. Then I have my regular payments, which I got to go in and put my Roth IRA, because now that I have monies to take care of my business expenses, I now have money to now put in my second Roth IRA, because I have one through work and I have a personal Roth that I am saving for retirement. I'm 4 years away from retirement. And so I am trying my very best to make sure that we have what we need. I also have, I counted them up. I think my children and I have at least 5 or 6 streams of income. Some of them are trickling streams, but they still streams. Don't come for my streams, okay? They might not be rivers, but we still doing something. And if they don't produce today, we leave them open. They will produce when it's time. So then I move down. I have my Amazon Prime, which is a sinking fund, my PureFlix, which is a sinking fund, my Healthways gym, then Jackson's gym. I pay for Jackson's gym membership out of his child support because he is not old enough to be on my Healthways gym. And then finally, we were able to get Sister off of Mom's, where I was paying it out of my account. Sister has called. She is now taking care of her own expenses. She was putting the money in my account, but they were pulling it out because that's how they did it before she was 18. Now she's 19. We called. They have her bank information. She is on her own. Very good. Hallelujah. Jackson's cell phone, which I did pay the cell phone. And then his high school sinking fund, that is for when Jackson goes to school, because it used to be our homeschool sinking fund that paid for curriculum. Now that Jackson is in high school, he may need shoes, he may need clothes. Next month is school starts back, really September, but it's the very end of August. So he'll go back for some school shopping. I always put a little bit of money away so that I don't have to worry about where am I going to get money to put clothes on this boy. He wears a size 11, 12 shoe. He's 14. I don't have time. Y'all, I can't afford to feed some of these children the way they eating around here. So you got to have a plan. For those of you who get child support, please sit down and think very strategically about how you use those funds. Are they your funds? Sure they are. But you need to know that if your kids need stuff and there's a little bit of extra somewhere, you're not trying to pull it out at the last minute to figure out how you're going to do this. Pull it out ahead of time, put it in a little fund, and leave it there. Well, I always need stuff. No, you don't. You can say no to you. That is one of the fruit of the spirits for those of us who are saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost, filled, fire, baptized with the evidence of speaking in tongues. Don't come up in here talking about you all that and you don't have self-control. You can say no to you. Stop spending. Okay, I'm harsh. I don't want to be harsh. There are no food expenses here because I have a summer groceries account, which I pull $100 off of my groceries for every single month that I get paid. And then I have that money 10 weeks at $100 a week is $1,000. That idea started 3 years ago when the Lord told me to start saving a little bit out of every paycheck. I was saving $50. Then the second year was $75, and this year was $100. He may say increase it next year, but I haven't heard that, so I'm going to move forward. So there's no food expenses. Moving down to personal care, I have a short haircut. I leave it this way. I may go to the barbershop every 10, 12 weeks, just depending. But Jackson has to get a haircut, which I do need to put that in. Then you go back to your natural supplements. I have a supplement that I do once a month that I have to pay for. Recreation and travel. This money comes out of my Shakima Wilson brand money that I want to be able to take my kids on vacation. I can't do it all at one time. We ain't going to Disney at one time. So I just plan it up. We like to do a Christmas trip. So I put money in my vacation fund and I save it up every month. That's how I do it. This year I had a girls trip, a girls weekend, did that. And then I just went on another trip. So that was the money for that. Moving down. And then I'm also doing the $5 challenge, $5 savings challenge for that as well. Jackson gets $100 in his savings account every month. I'm saving $80 for sister's car, $100 for Jackson. Gracie gets a sinking fund for food, but now I need to change this to the dogs. So this is going to be Gracie and Gweenie because we have a second dog. Here's the thing. Dogs are just like children. They cost money. So if you can't afford it, don't get one. Gas, I'm always going to have that, but I'm spending less in gas because I'm not driving as far. Oil changes is a sinking fund. Tires is a sinking fund. Licensed car insurance is a sinking fund. I pay my car insurance by the 6 months. Shakim, I can't afford to pay it by the 6 months. Then pay it every month. But if you pay it by the 6 months, you get a discount. How do I know that? And when did I start? When I was still getting a refund, income tax refund for my children. I started it then. I'm not telling you to take it out of monies you don't have. But if you're getting refunds, you can start sinking funds and you can do your 6 months ahead. Smarter, not harder. My tires went out about a year ago, not even quite a year ago. I went to get my car inspected, failed because of my tires. $200, $300 some odd dollars. Okay, that's going to be a sinking fund because I'm not trying to pull out that money when I don't have it. But I can save $16 every month. Well, Shakim, I don't have as much income as you. Here's the thing. This is the year for entrepreneurship. What do you have in your mind that, or in your hand that you can make, that somebody wants, that you can sell and make some money? I don't care what it is legally, but you need to be doing something. I saved all of my money from coupons. I ain't had a coupon in over 2 years. Why? Because that's not the life we live in right now. So I'm telling you right now, find a way to do the things. Car replacement for sister is $80 moving down. Then I have my tithe. I do not tithe in the summer. I do 100% not tithe in the summer because I pay my tithe, my full tithe off of my gross income. I know some people tithe off the net. I tithe off the gross, and me and God, we good. Don't worry about that. I pay that in 10 months. Anything I give in June or July is considered an offering. And not only do I tithe, but I add on an extra, and then I do free will offerings on top of that. The baby's fine, don't worry. I have a ministry that I give to. I need to add some more money to that. I have blow money for thrifting and then my savings. I did not put anything down for baby step 3 this month because I knew I had a travel trip, and that took up some income. Now for next, and we have another trip coming up. I'm taking Jackson to youth camp. And it was like certain amount of money, but we put out a thing on Facebook and on YouTube. If anybody wanted to give on the calendar, and you guys gave, between the two mediums, gave over almost $600. So Jackson's trip is paid for in full. I did not have to pay anything for that. And I do appreciate everybody who gave into that. So my budgeted expenses is about $22.24. If I go back up, I have already brought in $2,972. So I'm well over the budgeted amount. There are a few things that I did not put in that I still need to go back and put in. I got Mr. Jerome's money out. Sinking funds, I will now be doing sinking funds out of my Shakima Wilson brand money. I will no longer be doing sinking funds out of One Mom. The Roth IRA, I have paid. Healthways Gym is paid. Jackson's cell phone is paid. Moving on down, the high school fund is paid. Let me see. Didn't have any doctors, didn't have any dentists. I did get my supplement this month. I need to put that in. For Gweenie, I had to buy her some foodstuffs and a few things, so I have to put money in for that I forgot to put in. Gas, I took that out in cash. Oil, tires, license, those are all sinking funds. And then there was some gift money that I gave away. Was about $150, and then another $100 went to the church yesterday. So that's going to give me another $250 plus a little bit. So you're probably going to see about $300 to $400 more in there on the next time I do a budget update. But right now, just according to what I didn't put in yet, it's $1,783, which gives me about $1,189 left. That is not a true number because I still have to go in and put some stuff in that I just forgot about. I am almost positive that I forgot to put something in here. And there were a couple things that I said off the top that I did forget to put in. So that is the budget for the moment. Let me go back and see if there were any questions that I missed. I'm live on Facebook and on YouTube, Teresa. So the thing is, you have got to get a hold of your spending habits. You have got to get a hold of managing your money. You got to know what's coming in versus what's going out. Just the days of willy-nilly is out. There's no luxury for any of that. So you will have to make adjustments to your plan, adjustments to your spending, adjustments to your structure of how you budget. And this budget sheet is a veil. If anybody would like to see this budget sheet, is in every description box that I do a video. Highlight the link, pop it into your URL, hit enter. It will automatically download for you, or you can send me an email at one mom, two girls, two boys, 8 in all, or you can send me a DM on Facebook and I will try to get it to you. This does not belong to me. I just did a Google search and that's what I found. Been using it now for about 3 to 4 years and it works for me. Now, I got to go to church. I love all y'all. I just wanted to share those numbers with you very, very quickly because I know some people are interested. But let me just preface this one point. Please, please, please. That's very good. Angela said, get creative and look for activities that are free in your area. It's summertime. There's music on the lawn. Sometimes I know out here at the town hall, they have movies at night where, it's cooler in the evening. So they have movies at night, right? So you can go pack a little cooler. Everybody bring a blanket. Y'all sit down and watch. Or they have dollar movies on a certain day of the week for your kids. There's a ton. If you live near the beach, if all you have to consider is parking, or you ride with a friend one time, they ride with you the next time. Go to the beach, pack a cooler, and live your best life. So those are things that you can do. There's a ton. If you just Google your city, there should be a ton of stuff that you can do. Hey, we all need to get healthy, get out, ride bikes, walk. Get your kids in a little wagon and roll them around. They'll just be happy with the bumps and the rumps, especially little kids. They don't care about being entertained. It's really us that care about the entertainment. If you consume adult beverages and every time you consume one is $7 or $8, stop doing that. If you are a Starbuckian and you want to get a $7 coffee, maybe one this month, not one every day. Do some things that will help you. If you have food in your freezer, do a food pantry challenge, do a freezer challenge. Don't do grocery shopping this week, or just get your basics and use what you have. It's a great way to rotate what you have in your home. So anywho, there it is, y'all. This is available for replay. I'll probably try to jump back in another day and update the things that I forgot to put in, because if you get like me, there's a ton happening and I just forget. Thank you, ma'am. It's prayer tonight, so I'm going to enjoy it. I actually feel like I need to be there and just lay on the altar and cry for about 30 minutes. So praise God. And I'm going to do it. So I love you guys. I thank you all so much for always being so kind and joining me. If you need help with budgeting, please just drop me a comment down below. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, and don't be ashamed. Y'all saw me when I was budgeting to feed my kids at $25, and look who was home. Gotta be in the shot. She came home and my house is a wreck. Praise God. So anywho, we love y'all. She's doing all the wedding planning stuff because the wedding is coming up. We love you guys and we'll see you next time. Bye now.